this sport has helped me so much in my life. I think my jaw is broken, by the way, so yeah. Let's go! It's definitely broke.
A little fucked up, but will you take care of me forever and ever?
The problem child's luck finally ran out. For years, fans debated what would happen if a flashy YouTube experiment met a true heavyweight force. On December 19th, the answer was clear. This wasn't just a defeat, it was a brutal reality check that ended with Jake Paul hospitalized, facing the consequences of stepping into elite boxing.
My mom wanted me not to fight Anthony Joshua. I should have listened to my mom. My dad pushed me to this. Now I'm alone in the hospital. Got to eat liquid now. Anthony Joshua be ready for.
It's no longer about hype trash talk or pay-per-view sales. This is about a harsh lesson in real knockout power. Now UFC President Dana White has finally broken his silence, and his reaction is sending shockwaves across the entire combat sports world.
Congratulations on your win tonight in Miami. How are you feeling right now?
Calm, chilled, good to get the win, but there's a lot I could have done better. So a bit of mixed emotion.
Like what?
Could have done a lot better, cut the ring off, maybe done what I done in the sixth, in the third, in the second, even in the first. But our wins are wins, and that's why we're here talking about.
You talked about having the weight of the boxing world on your shoulders, and like the purists, right?
Yeah.
And how do you deal with that type of pressure when the media is so fickle? 1 minute they love you, 1 minute they hate you. Do you feel that even though you won tonight, you're still not going to be pleased?
So with the media, how I operate the media is you got negative and you got positive. So I do honestly focus on the positive. I don't really focus on the negative. And secondly, I just understand that while I'm in the hot seat, so let's say there's a seat, and right now I'm elevated to that hot seat, I gotta take all the shit that comes with being in that hot seat, and then once I move on from that hot seat, no one's gonna care about me anyway. So I just gotta.
That's not true.
It's true. It's how it goes. It's how it goes. So I know how it works. I understand the cycle. I'm currently in that motion. I'm dealing with some shit at the minute, but it won't last forever. Have some tough skin, and then in a couple of years, I'll be sitting back watching someone else deal with that shit. Come on, Cam, have some tough skin, you'll be alright.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Good to see you, Michelle.
Great to see you too.
Fight fans.
The sixth round was meant to be Jake Paul's defining moment, the proof that he truly belonged. Instead, it marked the end of the bravado. At the 131 mark, Anthony Joshua delivered a perfectly timed right hand that didn't just stop the fight, it shut the door on the illusion. After 5 rounds of avoiding the inevitable, and even getting up from multiple knockdowns, Jake finally met a level he couldn't out-talk or outmaneuver. As he sank to the canvas, the confidence that fueled his rise vanished, replaced by the harsh reality of serious injury and defeat. This wasn't just a loss on the record. It was a physical and symbolic breaking point, delivered by a champion who stayed calm, controlled, and...
Yeah, we think he broke his jaw. He's fine. We met with Netflix afterwards. He took a shower. He drove himself to the hospital. A broken jaw is very common in sports, particularly in boxing or MMA. And I think the recovery time from the doctors and surgeons we've already talked to is 4 to 6 weeks.
The hospital aftermath has been grim for the Paul camp. Doctors at Miami University Hospital reportedly spent hours repairing Jake Paul's jaw, stabilizing the injury with titanium plates on both sides. The impact caused severe facial damage, forcing additional dental procedures and leaving him restricted to a liquid diet for the foreseeable future. Medical scans shared online revealed the seriousness of the injury, serving as a harsh reminder of the risks involved. Many experts have since questioned whether the bout should have been approved at all. Even amid recovery, Jake's lighthearted remarks about chasing another mega fight have drawn mixed reactions, with critics viewing them less as confidence and more as an effort to remain in the spotlight after a punishing defeat.
According to Jake Paul, he stated he had to do surgeries. He broke his jaw on 2 different locations on both sides. He lost many teeth that he has to replace, or he replaced already. And after that, Jake called out Canelo. But he need to focus on Gervonta for real, because Canelo gonna do him dirty. With that being said, Jake said, quote, "Just got out of surgery. Everything went smooth. Thanks for all the love. A lot of pain and stiffness. Gotta eat liquid for 7 days, even on Christmas." So To the amazing team of Miami University Hospital, everyone was so gracious and caring. Double broken jaw. Give me Canelo in 10 days. Jaw broken, heart and balls intact. Time to rest, recover, and return to cruiserweight. Okay, now that's a smart thing to do because he did fight a super heavyweight in AJ. But I don't think it's going to be any sweeter at cruiserweight. But
UFC CEO Dana White made no effort to hide his "I told you so" reaction when the news broke. For years, he had criticized the crossover boxing trend, labeling it more spectacle than sport, and this outcome felt like confirmation of his stance. White was blunt, saying there are clear levels in combat sports that hype and online fame simply can't erase. He had previously joked that many viewers were waiting to see reality catch up to Jake Paul. Watching the influencer-turned-boxer face serious medical consequences only reinforced his belief that the fight should never have happened. To Dana, this wasn't shocking or tragic. It was the expected result of someone stepping far beyond their limits.
I tried my best. Jake done well while it lasted, but if you remember what I said in the interview with Cameron is, fighting's not just physical, it's psychological. And when you understand the psychological warfare, I did say to you is that, Jake, what's going to happen? I'm going to see a time when I'm going to take your soul and you're either going to give up or you're going to get knocked out. And unless you have that instinct, you just will never be a good fighter. So I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start. But as we saw tonight, Jake has spirit. He has some heart. He tried his best. And I take my hat off to him because, number one, a lot of fighters haven't got in the ring with me, and Jake did. And secondly, even when he got knocked down, he kept on trying to get up. And I take my hat off to him. So, America, I think you have someone who could potentially, if he still has the heart for it, come back again, dust the dirt off his shoulder, and come again and maybe sell out this center sometime in 2026. Maybe against a Gervonta Davis, a Ryan Garcia. Who knows?
The size difference on fight night was hard to ignore. Anthony Joshua entered the ring at a powerful 243 pounds, looking every bit the seasoned two-time unified heavyweight champion, while Jake Paul appeared noticeably smaller at 216. Many analysts have since described the matchup as a Tom and Jerry scenario, with Jake spending much of the fight moving clinching and trying to survive. Attention has now shifted to the Florida State Athletic Commission as criticism continues to mount. Voices like Gareth A. Davies have labeled the sanctioning reckless, arguing that when an inexperienced fighter is matched against one of the division's most dangerous finishers, it stops being a contest and becomes a serious risk.
Jake lost because of the size difference, not because of the skill difference. AJ was hanging on that neck, pushing him down. And when you have someone that heavy constantly doing that, it does suck the energy out of you. AJ talked about sucking out or taking out the man's soul. He didn't take out his soul. He did take out his energy, and that's when he was able to get the finish.
And just a quick follow-up. Obviously, we don't want to look too far into the future. I know you said Jake wants a break. He's going through some, he's coming off a tough fight. But, I mean, it seems written on the wall that would be an obvious fight to, look forward to in the future. Could you see Jake versus Francis Ngannou?
The whole situation with Francis was very confusing to me. And he's done a couple of interviews, back and forth on terms of how he thought about our conversation. I think Francis is a revolutionary when it comes to fight sports. He stood up against the UFC, showed what kind of man he is. And this process was just, again, a little bit confusing for me, given who I know who he is.
Even within the Paul family, the tone has shifted from confidence to damage control. Logan Paul publicly defended his brother, emotionally claiming Jake had won several rounds before the fight ended, and praising his toughness for continuing under extreme pressure. However, that narrative hasn't gained much support within the combat sports world. Analysts and former champions like Daniel Cormier and Carl Froch have been openly critical, arguing that Anthony Joshua controlled the pace and extended the bout deliberately for entertainment value before closing it decisively. Froch went further, labeling the event unconvincing and unproductive, suggesting the spectacle harmed boxing's credibility far more than it enhanced Jake Paul's standing in the sport.
I am him, the man. I ain't a YouTuber or a man half your size. 37-year-old at the end of his career, fighting a YouTuber, a Disney Channel guy, who Tommy B, and now he's talking about killing and all that to try and sell.
Okay.
Please, barking up the wrong tree, idiot. You're a classless loser coming off a 15 months knockout defeat to a local lad. Imagine if someone from Morecambe knocked me out. If I ever come across you, bum, I'm knocking you back out. You big bum, you.
Warnings from peers like Conor McGregor now feel eerily accurate. Before the opening bell, McGregor predicted the fight would be easy work for Anthony Joshua and later suggested Jake Paul would leave the ring permanently changed. That prediction proved true. Taking a clean shot from a heavyweight champion isn't something you simply shake off. It alters careers and forces serious reflection. Now, as Jake recovers in a hospital room, unable to eat normally and facing a long road of rehabilitation, the conversation has shifted. Fans and critics alike are questioning whether the massive payday was truly worth the lasting consequences and the permanent reminder he'll carry from stepping into that ring.
Fury, listen, we'll see you in September.
Is it realistic, you think? I mean, it's been like 7 years, right?
We'll get it. You'll get it. You'll get it this year.
Makes sense.
Social media reaction has been split between blunt, "I told you so" comments and real concern about fighter safety. Across Reddit and X, many fans admit Jake Paul showed courage, but also agree he proved he isn't close to world-class level. The Paul Joshua hashtag is flooded with clips of the ending, with widespread debate over whether the referees should have stopped it earlier. Now, even with surgical hardware aiding his recovery, the so-called problem child stands at a crossroads. Does he return to a more realistic weight class, humbled by experience, or does he keep chasing dangerous mismatches, risking consequences far more serious than a loss on his record?
Jake Paul didn't get in there to win last night. He got in there to survive. And he didn't do a better job of surviving. He sold the fight brilliantly. That's what he is. He's a salesman. And he's a YouTuber, influencer, call him whatever you want. So from that perspective, he did his job, but he never got in there to win. He just got in there to got beat up. I'm glad Anthony Joshua done a number on him. This is why boxers are boxers, YouTubers, whatever they want to call themselves, influencers. You know, they should stay in their lane and fight people that they're supposed to fight on their level. This guy was never on Anthony Joshua's level, and Joshua did what he needed to do, did what he had to do for the sake of boxing, and blow this guy out and just knock him out.
What about the fact that Jake was able to land on him clean a couple of times? What did you make of that?
Oh, listen, you can't get into the water without getting hit. Fortunately for Joshua, that guy can't break an egg. So he was never in any danger. You know, he's always going to get hit back. I mean, you know, it was 6 rounds. Anthony Joshua was always going to take at least 1 or 2 shots over that 6-round period, but it was nothing to hurt him. It was nothing to bother him. And like I say, this is all about getting AJ's confidence back. Okay. If Jake Paul fights, if he fights KSI or KFC or whatever his name is, then those two are evenly matched, aren't they? They're evenly matched, and then they could fight, you know, and then because they're evenly matched, they're both YouTubers, aren't they? They should get that on. I'd probably sit down and watch that.
The lesson of December 19th was unmistakable. You can't fast-track your way into the heavyweight elite without paying a serious price. Anthony Joshua didn't just secure a victory. He reinforced a timeless truth about boxing. This sport isn't built on views, followers, or viral moments. It's built on power, timing, and unforgiving physical reality. While Jake Paul may have walked away financially secure from a massive gate, he's now discovering that wealth doesn't soften the consequences of stepping into a world you're not ready for. This wasn't merely a knockout. It marked the collapse of a loud, costly experiment that pushed spectacle far beyond its limits. The Miami Showdown has since become a cautionary tale for the entire influencer boxing movement. Fighting retired MMA names or fellow online personalities is one thing. Standing across the ring from a focused, world-class heavyweight is something else entirely. That gap can't be closed with confidence alone. Jake's experience has left him forced to reassess not just his future opponents, but his place in the sport itself. Now the questions are unavoidable. Was this the moment the so-called problem child finally learned restraint? Or simply the most expensive lesson of his career? Either way, the recent quiet from the Paul camp says more than months of pre-fight bravado ever could.
What did I just watch? All right? Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua is over. Thank God. Thank God it's over. What a joke of a fight. I was hoping that I could at least give Jake credibility and saying, you know what, he took this challenge. You know, even if it's for a lot of money, he still had the guts to walk to the ring and all this stuff. I was hoping, you know, you're going to get knocked out anyway, dude. Like, I was hoping I could say, you know what, because he earned the respect of boxing fans by going out on his shield. Guy just ran for his life. I just watched Jake Paul run for his life for like 5-6 rounds. Literally just run for. He was doing football jukes. You guys watched that fight? Ring was big. I made a freaking point about that ring being big, and he used it to his advantage in terms of survival in every way he could. I mean, this guy literally never tried to win a second of the fight. He was trying to throw a home run punch every once in a while. And notice every time he got in the clinch, he just went down. Like he just hugged Anthony Joshua and then like would go down and the referee would call it a slip and give him a break. And like he would just kill time that way. Then he was completely angling off. He was completely blading his shoulder off completely to the point where he's so bladed off that he can't even punch. He was just trying to make himself as small of a target as possible. And Anthony Joshua, people are going to say, oh, why didn't Anthony Joshua catch up to him? Because Anthony Joshua never had fast feet to begin with. And Anthony Joshua, honestly, should have probably cut off the ring a little bit better. That's my one critique of Joshua. He probably could have cut off the ring a little bit better. Joshua's always never really had the best feet, but in terms of cutting off the ring, he could have at least done that. But honestly, what do you want the guy to do? I mean, this guy ran for his life in a 22 by 22 ring. That ring was huge. I can't believe what I just watched, guys. I'm seriously like, dude, that's it. This was AJ's chance. Could have went out on his shield and his chance to say, yeah, get the respect of the boxing community. This was the one that could have got him the respect of the boxing community. This was the one. He came out with all this rap crap and then doing the Hulkamania crap and all that other stuff and all that stuff. You know, and I'm thinking to myself, is he that calm or is he literally just setting up his own demise? I don't know. AJ came out to the ring really serious, which would you expect? And then, I mean, he never fought. Jake never fought.
We want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Jake Paul will make a comeback after this crushing loss? Who should he face next? Share your opinions in the comments below. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an update. Don't forget to join the conversation in the comment section. See you in the next video.